Govan, thank you for joining us. We'll get to the questions that might be posed to Minister Mbalula and the board in just a few minutes. But where are you now? Scopa members have been on the ground since yesterday. What's their focus?
Well, today they're focusing on the state of commuter rail, specifically in Johannesburg, Gauteng specifically, but some of the more important stations that service the larger communities. Right now we're at the Naledi station, and just take a look at this place. It's been targeted by vandals and it's been severely vandalized. You see the overhead cablings, that's where they've been cut, and in picture right now is the acting CEO of Prasa explaining to committee Scopa member Sakumzi Somyo exactly how the vandals target parts of Prasa's infrastructure and what they're looking for. So here at Naledi, you'll notice the overhead cabling has been stolen. That's been one of the main targets for the vandals here. But this is also an area where Prasa wants to rebuild and have it functioning properly. Right now, we see the committee members are asking some questions, and we'll try to listen in as soon as that process gets underway. We are hoping to speak to one of them as well, but we're not trying to interrupt this session, of course.
All right. Govan, just while we're waiting for you to get a gap, what might the Prasa board be asked, and what might Mr. Mbalula be asked later today?
So what's the plan to rehabilitate?
Well, it's really about what they'll do to get these stations working again and what kind of investment is needed. Right now, one of the Prasa officials is explaining what went wrong here. Now, let's listen in.
Why didn't you reach her after digging up? These are basic maintenance things. These are a risk to Prasa, as Honorable was saying. A passenger running here. I mean, this... As words of why? I mean, it's not as if you are dealing with 10,499 kilometers of terrain. It's literally just here. Why is it? Why are these things not being done? Why? Like, I'm really, words are failing me. But this lies a fair kind of approach to things. No, guys.
Chair?
Honorable man, but
No, I want to propose, Chair, because it's clear that there is not just only the neglect of the station. There is just the dereliction of duty, that someone else was supposed to do it or whatever, and that one said we must do that. So we need to get from the board as to what then becomes the consequence of people who just don't do their job.
yeah, I think the board.
That's just that has to be.
Chair and CEO, when we meet, I think we want something very concrete about consequence management. So that we just get not even a sense, a full briefing of people walking the plank. You see, it's the duration of duty which incurs you costs. Honorable Van Minen?
What I'd also like to know from the board is how much is lost annually, or how much is spent annually, on insurance claims for people who come, who trip, who hurt themselves at the stations. I think that is also something we need to be aware of, because that also potentially is something one needs to balance.
Yeah, I think.
Can I just get an indication for how long has this situation been like this? For how long? And who is responsible to rehabilitate it to its original position?
How long? Yeah.
How long? I mean, you have one personnel who's been here for 30 years, responsible for safety, so it shouldn't be difficult to get an answer.
How long has this been like this?
Yes, since 2019, after the termination of the security, there was a gap. In November 2019, securities were terminated. They came back in January 2020. Again in May 2020, they were terminated and came back around November.
I think, how long has this been like this? It goes all the way.
All right, so that's Govan Whittles at the Naledi station. He's tagging along with members of Scopa who are grilling the heads of Prasa.